What's up, y'all? I'm still out here at the range, as you can see back behind me on this hot sunny day. Mid 80s out here, so it ain't 90s yet, but that's coming for us next week. So I've been trying to get some good tests done out here while I got a little bit of a break. So far, I've been 2 for 2 out here today with some fantastic performance, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a third one right here with this spicy Buffalo Bore 357 Magnum. So I got the jelly contraption out here trying to stay cool with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. Now again, I've done a couple of tests, so the back side is tracked up with these. I've got a couple little stragglers down here, and I actually got a couple little stragglers right here, but I'm gonna go ahead and send them on this end anyway. I'm pretty sure I can miss the top one. Even if I hit into the one of them on the bottom there, that ain't gonna really affect nothing with this stuff. Of course, as you can see, as always, I've got my heavy clothing barrier there with a layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we got here should be some fantastic stuff that was sent to me. I'm not sure if the person wants their info known, so I'm gonna leave it anonymous. I really appreciate this big time. We've got some Buffalo Bore 357 Magnum here, 180 grain. They're saying 1,500 feet per second from the muzzle with this stuff. So that's 900 foot-pounds of energy. I mean, that's almost right at 900 foot-pounds of energy from a 357 Magnum revolver. Now that 1,500 is listed coming from a 6-inch GP100. One thing I really like about Buffalo Bore is he lists velocities from several different barrel lengths. He did have a 4-inch listed, which I do have out here today. I believe that one said about 1350. So basically you looking at the comparable revolver 357 mag round to the Buffalo Bore that I really like so much. But here's a look at your cartridge, brass case there. Now this is definitely an XTP projectile. It even states it on his site. So XTP projectile 357 Magnum. And then as far as my barrel lengths, I've got a couple different ones here. We're gonna start out with the 4-inch GP100 Ruger, and then I do have a 6-inch here with my Colt Python 357 mag. So this right here should give us some absolutely fantastic results to end out the day of testing. Let's get everything set up and see what they can do. All right, let's see what kind of numbers we can get from these wild buffaloes. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each barrel length, starting with this 4-inch GP100 first. Now you will see multiple readings from this radar. The large numbers right here at the muzzle, and then you've got 5 across the bottom. The first one there is set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet. And then I've got the other set for 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. Now remember, they're saying 1,500 from a 6-inch, and I'm pretty sure I saw 1,350 from a 4-inch on there, so I'm expecting around 1,350 from this right here. Let's see what we get. Oh, that feels good. 1,369. That feels good. 1,412. 1,367. 1,391. And 1,353. Was that all 5? Yeah, that was all 5. So happily way more than I thought we were going to see. Let's check out the average. I said way more than what I was expecting, but not a whole lot more. I figured around 1,350 something. We did get more though. 1,378 feet per second from a 4-inch 357 mag, 180 grain, y'all. Extreme spread of 58 with a 23.0 standard deviation. So already I'm really liking that. That right there matches and exceeds it on a couple of rounds from that 10 mil that we saw from the 5-inch 1911. So I'm definitely curious to see what it does from the 6-inch. Let's get things reset and see what happens. All right, here we go. 6-inch Colt Python. I'm expecting to see that 1,500 right here, probably a little more. That feels so good. 1,511, 1,532. That sounds good too. 1,517. 1,494, a little bit of a drop right there, and 1,524, so exceeded that 1,500. It does not surprise me one bit coming from Buffalo Bore. Let's check out this average. All right, y'all, absolutely fantastic stuff right here. We had a 5-round average of 1,516 feet per second. That puts this stuff over 900 foot-pounds of energy from a 357 mag revolver, y'all. That right there is smoking. Extreme spread was 38 with a 14.3 standard deviation. So 15, 16 here, and if you remember on the 4-inch, it was 1378. So what is that? 138 feet per second difference right there. So that's a pretty significant difference if you ask me. All that being said, there's no doubt both of these things are going to do a fantastic job right here in the gel. Let's get it all set up. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's rabid buffalo jelly time. We'll put one from each barrel length into the gel, starting with this 4-inch first. We getting ready to see some good stuff from both of these. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Whew, that was a stomper right there. Let's go check this out. All right, y'all, I actually underestimated how far that stuff was gonna go. I had to pull the camera back a little bit. It's looking fantastic down there for sure. This stuff right here ain't playing around. Let's see what it does from the Python. Whew, that got real close to the other one, but I'm pretty sure it stayed out of the way. Let's go check this stuff out. All right, let's check out what we got down here. This is some absolutely mean stuff right here, buddy. Absolutely mean. I had to pull you way back, as you can see, because this stuff almost went all the way, both of these blocks. Now, I got real close here, a little closer than I wanted, but it's just the way it is. I didn't want to get too close to the edges because I figured it was going the distance and was going to curve. So if you look here, this one on the top, that's the one from the 4-inch GP100. Both of these look nearly identical. I'll just tell you right now, they look almost exactly the same. Massive energy disruption, bunch of energy transfer and disruption all the way through this first block into the second block, and it keeps on trucking all the way through this second block, probably about 3/4 of the way through, and we just barely held on to it. It almost came out the side, which is why I didn't want to get too close to any of the edges. It looks like you got some really nice expansion from that big old 180 grain chunk. And then right up under that one, totally separate entrance, totally separate track all the way through. But again, it looks nearly the same. Now you got some fragmentation up here near the beginning, but big energy transfer, huge disruption again, all the way through this block. Now this one's up under it and it goes behind this other one. So goes behind, then it curves up a little bit. And this is the one on the top. So all the way through there, keeps on trucking, keeps on trucking. This one is probably about 3 inches further than the one from the 4-inch. And once again, from what I can tell, you got some big expansion. So as far as penetration on these things, they went way down here, buddy. Is all the way down here to right at 27 inches. That was the 4-inch. And then the one up underneath that, that one's all the way out here to 29.5 inches. So you got some massive penetration from those things. And here's your close-up look at them. This gives you a kind of a better picture. They look the same. Like I say, you can't really tell the difference. You can see if I go up underneath here, I mean, they look nearly identical. If you follow them on through here, that one curves downward, kind of stays in the front, keeps on going, and boom, you see it right there. That's the 4-inch. And then if we look up top and keep on going a little bit further, that right there is the 6-inch. Pretty much just as tricky here from the top view, maybe even a little more even because it's underneath that one. Right about here though, they kind of separate a little bit. And you can see, I mean, those things did an incredibly nice job. Now, probably a little much for 2-legged self-defense cases, but as far as 4-legged, these would definitely get some jobs done. All right, let's check out these projectiles. This one right here is from the 4-inch and this one's from the 6-inch. Once again, just like the tracks in the gel, these things look nearly identical. I mean, they look nearly identical. You can see here, they look the same size, look like they kind of broke off the lead in the same place. I really like seeing stuff like this when you get the same performance from multiple barrel lengths. That way you just know what to expect no matter what you're carrying. And this right here, I can tell you what you can expect. You can expect some mean 357 Magnum, buddy. But let's get these numbers and see what kind of material we lost. I know we did lose some because I can see the fragments in the gel. So they started at 180. This one from the 4-inch is down to 174.2. So a little bit of loss, not a whole lot at all. You still got a heavy chunk of lead. And then the 6-inch there, you're down to 174.0, so nearly identical loss. And you can tell because again, everything about these from these two different barrel lengths looks nearly the same. And then looking at the size here, we'll do the 4-inch first again. Right there, you got 5.28 and 5.25, so nice even expansion on that one. And then your 6-inch here, you got 5.28 and 5.26. So again, you cannot get any closer as far as performance between these rounds. Really, I think the biggest difference between them is just the velocity difference. So there you go, y'all, the Buffalo Bore 180 grain 357 Magnum. This right here is some mean stuff, buddy. I have tested their 158 in the past and it did really well also, but this stuff right here just seems like it's on a whole nother level. I mean, you got big energy right here, big penetration. Now, I'm pretty sure I read on the description on his site that these are intended for medium game purposes, like up to 350 pounds. I think I read that somewhere. So not really intended for two-legged EDC self-defense purposes. And it's probably a little extreme for most folks using it for that purpose. But y'all know me, if this stuff right here is what I had, I wouldn't have any problem running this stuff for any purpose. All right, y'all, I've had some absolutely fantastic performance from the rounds I've tested out here today, and this 357 Magnum Buffalo Bore was just icing on the cake. Now, again, like I mentioned, it may be a little much for most people probably as far as two-legged EDC purposes, but there's no doubt about it that if you had to use this stuff, something is in a world of hurt. But let me know what y'all think about it down in the comments. Those of y'all that run 357 Mag for especially EDC purposes, what do you think about this stuff right here? Do you think it's a little much for a two-legged EDC or home defense type situation? Or are you like me and really the spicier the better in any situation? A quick reminder as always, if you're doing any kind of shopping, hit up my affiliate links in the video description first. I've got all kind of stuff down there and anything you pick up through those links helps out the channel, so I really appreciate that. Big thanks again to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel. I got some fantastic stuff done out here today and plenty more on the way, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.